Agent Orange and the wedding cake crisis. Agent Orange adjusted the strap on her velvet stilettos, grimacing at the weight of the silk ball gown. Undercover work wasn't usually this glamorous or this sticky. The room smelled overwhelmingly of fondant and regret. Around her, pastry chefs wailed, their flour-streaked faces contorted in despair. "The cake cartel's been gutted," sobbed one chef. 3 generations of buttercream artistry, gone. 3 dozen cancelled orders this week, moaned another, cradling a cake topper of 2 penguins. They said the frosting looked too menacing. Agent Orange sighed and popped a mini eclair into her mouth. This was worse than the ministry had feared. Wedding cake hysteria wasn't just hurting bakeries, it was unraveling the entire wedding industrial complex. Venues, photographers, florists, everyone was losing clients. And why? Because people were suddenly afraid of cakes. Her earpiece buzzed. It was Director Slate. "Orange, what's the status?" "Bad. Really bad," she murmured, turning away from the bakers. "This is beyond viral TikTok fearmongering. Someone's deliberately stoking this." "Who?" "No leads yet, but I'm about to crash the Matrimonial Marvels Gala. Word is, the key players will be there. Stay sharp. This mission's a tiered operation. First, find the culprits. Second, end the madness. And, Orange, yes, boss. Try not to eat too many samples this time." She disconnected with a smirk, smoothing her dress. The gala was dazzling. Chandeliers glittered like sugar crystals, and servers floated by with trays of champagne. But despite the glamour, the atmosphere was tense. Guests skirted around the enormous wedding cakes displayed on pedestals, their eyes darting nervously at the buttercream towers. Agent Orange blended seamlessly into the crowd. She wasn't just any operative, she was the ministry's operative, a master of disguise and deduction. Her primary suspect was in the corner, social media influencer Cherise Crumb, infamous for her anti-cake rants. "Cake. Gross," Cherise was saying to a group of enraptured followers. "It's just sugar and lies. You know the divorce rate is higher for couples who serve cake at their wedding? Scientific fact." Orange edged closer, pretending to admire an elaborate cake shaped like a swan. Just as Cherise was about to reveal more, a commotion erupted near the stage. Boom! One of the cakes exploded, showering guests with frosting and edible glitter. Screams filled the room as people ducked for cover. A waiter fainted into a platter of canapes. Agent Orange sprang into action, her dress making an audible foof as she lunged toward the chaos. "Everyone, stay calm," she shouted, pulling a cream-covered walkie-talkie from her clutch. Ministry business. The crowd didn't calm down, but Cherise Crumb bolted. Orange spotted her weaving through the crowd and gave chase, kicking off her heels. Cherise didn't get far. Agent Orange cornered her in the kitchen, pinning her against a wall of tiered cupcake trays. "Talk," she demanded, holding up a whisk threateningly. "I don't know what you're talking about," Cherise yelped. "The exploding cake. Who's behind this? I swear, it's not me. I just hate cake because it gave me acne in high school." A sharp click interrupted them. The walk-in freezer door swung shut, locking both women inside. Cherise gasped. "This is a trap. You're the target now." Agent Orange sighed. "Story of my life." Hours later, Orange escaped the freezer using Cherise's phone to short-circuit the lock. She emerged frostbitten but undeterred, and with Cherise's help, she pieced together the real culprit, the fondant rebellion. The group had been active on the dark web, blaming cakes for everything from societal inequality to climate change. Their mission? To destroy wedding cakes and weddings themselves, claiming the tradition was outdated and oppressive. "They think they're liberators," Cherise said, shivering in her glitter-covered dress. "But they're just a bunch of fondant-hating weirdos." Orange rolled her eyes. "That's rich coming from you." Armed with this intel, Agent Orange tracked down the rebellion's headquarters, an abandoned bakery in the outskirts of town. Inside, The walls were plastered with propaganda posters. Death to fondant, one read. Another depicted a bride wielding a rolling pin like a sword. The rebels were huddled around a massive, icing-streaked whiteboard, planning their next attack. At their center stood the leader, a stern-looking woman in a flour-dusted suit. Phase 4 begins tomorrow, the leader declared. We unveil the viral video showing that cakes are made from toxic ingredients, like love. Agent Orange interrupted, stepping into the room. The rebels froze. Who are you? The leader demanded. Agent Orange, Ministry of Unique Anomalies. And I'm here to take the cake. The leader laughed, a harsh cackle. You can't stop us. The world has seen the truth. Wedding cakes are symbols of greed and waste. Wrong, Orange said, cracking her knuckles. They're symbols of joy and ridiculously overpriced craftsmanship. The rebels charged. The ensuing battle was a chaotic ballet of pastor warfare. Rebels flung donuts like ninja stars, while Orange wielded a rolling pin with the precision of a martial artist. At one point, she used a cupcake tray as a shield, deflecting an incoming pie. When the dust and powdered sugar settled, the rebels were tied up with licorice ropes. The leader glared at Orange. You'll never restore faith in cakes. The damage is done. Orange smirked. Won a bet. Her plan was outrageous, even by ministry standards. But desperate times called for elaborate ceremonies. Agent Orange staged a massive televised event, her own wedding. The venue was a spectacle, complete with flower arches and a live orchestra. The highlight was the cake, a 12-tier masterpiece featuring chocolate fountains, edible sculptures, and an absurdly intricate icing skyline of New York City. As millions tuned in, Orange strode down the aisle in a gown made entirely of sugar flowers. At the altar, she made her vows to herself, declaring her unwavering commitment to ending fear and bringing cakes back into fashion. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for, the cake cutting. With a flourish, Orange unsheathed a ceremonial sword and sliced through the towering dessert. The crowd erupted in cheers. Cameras zoomed in on her beaming face as she took the first bite. Delicious, she declared. And completely non-lethal. The broadcast was a sensation. Couples everywhere were inspired to rekindle their love for tradition, and wedding cake orders surged. Bakeries reopened, venues flourished, and the fondant rebellion's influence crumbled like a stale biscotti. As for Agent Orange, she returned to the ministry triumphant, her dress still faintly dusted with icing. Director Slate greeted her with a rare smile. Outstanding work, Orange. The wedding market owes you. She shrugged. All in a day's work. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a slice of chocolate ganache with my name on it. And with that, she strutted out, victorious and full of cake. The end.